So Nintendo is finally talking about the next Nintendo console. No official reveal yet, unfortunately, obviously. Maybe a little bit too early for that, but they're at least talking about it, which is very interesting to say at the very least. We've been talking about it for a long time, so to finally hear Nintendo themselves kind of, touch upon this topic is really exciting stuff. Welcome back, friends, to another video here on the channel. If you guys are new around here, by the way, be sure to subscribe if you guys enjoy Nintendo content. We do everything Nintendo, from guides to Nintendo news, walkthroughs, playthroughs, live streams, everything, else in between, you name it, we got it. So stick around for more. It's always a good time here, and drop a like in this video if you do enjoy this one. It really helps out the channel. So basically what's going on here is Nintendo president, Mr. I always mispronounce his last name, I think it's Furukawa, if I'm pronouncing it right, has said that the company's eventual transition away from Nintendo Switch to its next hardware platform is actually a major concern for the company. I'll throw it up on screen, and now you guys can see the article headline from VGC. And so speaking with during a Japanese investor Q&A this week, translated by VGC, Mr. Furukawa said that the company planned to alleviate the risks of resetting its 100 million plus user base by building long-term relationships with its users, partly via Nintendo accounts and by using its IP outside of gaming. Interesting to say the very least, I guess, in terms like movies and I guess merchandise, things like that, I'm assuming. Going to the next part of the article, it says, "We have already announced a portion of our software roadmap releasing to next spring," he said. "Unlike the past, we continue to have a large variety of games scheduled to be released even beyond 5 years of release." So they got things that are scheduled, I guess, beyond 5 years even. It goes on to say, "This is because the Nintendo Switch has had such a smooth launch, allowing us to focus all of our development resources on a single platform. However, the question of whether we will be able to just as smoothly transition from the Nintendo Switch to the next generation of hardware is a major concern for us. Based on our experiences with the Wii, Nintendo DS, and other hardware, it is very clear that one of the major obstacles is how to easily transition from one hardware to the next. To help alleviate this risk, we're focusing on building long-term relationships with our customers while we continue launching new software on the Nintendo Switch. We will also provide services that also use Nintendo accounts and other IP outside of gaming software. We intend for this to help build a lasting impact with our customers," end quote. So that was a big quote. There's a lot to take in from that in and of itself. So how do we kind of dissect this, right, is the big question. The thing is, they're looking for a smooth transition, right? When they launched the Nintendo Switch, they're coming out of the Wii U era, when the Wii U era was essentially a flop. And so the Nintendo Switch was obviously, the marketing from the beginning was very good. The lineup was very good. Their whole thing of releasing games consistently, right? The Wii U's problem, one of the problems, first of all, there was a lack of AAA support, which they got a little bit more AAA support for the Nintendo Switch. And the second thing is that they would clump up a bunch of releases all together on the Wii U, like some big first-party releases, for example, and then all of a sudden you have nothing for like months. But with the Nintendo Switch, it's been, you could almost count per month. There's always something fairly big in size dropping on the Switch almost every single month. There's been a couple times where it's been maybe not so much, or maybe something smaller like a DLC, but almost every single month. And that's been part of the good, I guess, support and longevity that they've so far been enjoying with the Nintendo Switch, and also we as fans have been enjoying the benefits and bonuses of. So there's all of that. Now, how do we go into the next generation of consoles smoothly? I think one of the things is the rumored fact that it's going to be backwards compatible. I think Nintendo is looking into backwards compatibility, and I think it's going to be huge, especially now. We see with, like, obviously with Xbox doing this since the Xbox One era. They've had backwards compatibility with Xbox, the original Xbox, and 360 games, and have increased that, kind of catalog, if you will. Then, of course, with the PlayStation 5 coming out, what Sony learned from with the PS4 not being backwards compatible with the PS3, but that was obviously an architecture kind of issue. The PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4, and that's a big deal to a lot of fans, right? Because if we're going to be upgrading and moving on to another console, we want to be able to use our older games on those consoles. So I think backwards compatibility is going to be huge. I think continuing to grow Nintendo Switch Online is also going to be very important and a very big deal, which they also talked about as well, saying that Nintendo Switch Online has not been updated from the 32 million subscribers that they disclosed last September, but that it is gradually increasing as the sales of Nintendo Switch increases. And they go on to say that, you know, they're going to continue to enhance the experience and continue to enhance and expand the services and all that good stuff, you know, throughout this year and obviously in the future as well. So lots of plans for Nintendo Switch Online as that continues to expand and, you know, becomes a better service. But yeah, there's just a lot of things going into Nintendo Switch, you know, the I guess successor, if you will, whatever comes next, I don't know if it's going to be an updated Switch first or a brand new console, but whatever it is, I think it would be good. And I think Nintendo is probably most likely looking into backwards compatibility and other things like that, because, you know, that would be huge, while obviously still maintaining the fact that they're innovators, right? They love to innovate. That's what I also love about Nintendo, and I think a lot of fans do too, is the fact that they do something different. They're not trying to go with the trends. They try to create something unique and fun in and of itself, and that's just what it is at the end of the day. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think would be a great way, you know, to ensure a smooth transition into the next generation of Nintendo hardware, and what would you like to see from it? Obviously, a lot of people have different things they would like to see from the new hardware, but let me know in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys very soon in another one. Until then, game on. Thanks for watching.